Hello, welcome. In this video, I will show you how I made the knotless braids using wool. In Nigeria, we call this Brazilian wool, and this is how it looks. It is rolled together and is made up of 9 smaller strands of wool. I don't know if this is also the normal yarn, but we used almost 7 of these to make this hairstyle. So of course I did the brick pattern, brick layer pattern or brick pattern on this hair, so that when we pack it up, the strands or the braids will be able to lie flat on her head, especially at the back part, without looking bulky. And it is also going to make the hair appear fuller, because a strand of hair or a braid of hair is going to be covering almost every section of her scalp. So we used 9 of those individual yarn pieces. I added them 2 2 2, then 1 1 1. So I hope you understand what I mean. I braided first. So I made 1 braid movement, then added 2, braided ones, added 2, braided ones, added 2, and then I added 1 3 times. That made it 9. You can see from watching. So we wanted the braids to not be really up to medium size, just a little bit over smaller sizes and not too full. So if you watch, you understand. Anyway, we got gisting so much, and at a point we were beginning to mix up the number of the wool she was giving me. So I started adding them 2 2 2 2, then 1, because we were gisting so much. Oh god, we just talk a lot when I attend to my customer. It's just my customers, it's part of the fun. We just gist about a lot of things, and that is what is happening here. I wasn't braiding the hair all the way to the tip yet, so I just braided and left it, and later on I got to just sit down and finish up the braids because they were long. They were really long, not so long, but a little bit past waist length. Yeah, a little bit past waist length. So she kept on reminding me to not make her hair too full. She didn't want her hair full, and I tried to do that. So over to part of our gist, if you're in Nigeria. So she was telling me that whenever she buys things, okay, you know the guys that hawk foodstuffs, not foodstuffs, raw food in wheelbarrows, like rice and beans. So while we were making this hair, someone passed, and she now told me that whenever she wants to buy large quantity of foodstuffs, she would have them use the smaller measurements to achieve the bigger one. So if she wants to buy a basin of curry, she would ask them to use a paint rubber and measure. If the basin contains 12 paint rubbers, instead of just buying 1 basin, she would buy 12 paint rubbers. And the reason, according to her, was that if you buy a basin and go home and measure it with paint rubbers, you will end up getting maybe 11. If she wants to buy a paint rubber of beans, she would ask them to use cups. If it contains 20 cups of beans, she would buy 20 cups of beans. And I was asking her why. according to her explanation, was that because the sellers are most times not sincere, they tend to go for measuring whatever they use that are slightly smaller than what they are supposed to use. But when they use the smaller ones to measure it, there is no way of cheating you. I then recalled there was a time I called a guy and wanted to buy a paint rubber of beans from him, and something happened. We were gisting and laughing before he got to measure what I wanted. Then when he was ready to sell to me, he was like, you know what, I am going to use this tomato container, which is supposed to be 2, which 2 of it is going to feel like a paint bucket of beans. He was like, I am going to use this half measure and give you 2 of it instead of using this 1 rubber paint bucket to give you 1 of what you want. And I was like, why? He said, okay, watch. He filled up that paint bucket and poured it into the half thing, the tomato container that is supposed to be half of that rubber. So he filled it once and poured it away, then poured the second set. Surprisingly, that second one was not full, and because he got to feel that I was now, or that because we formed a little kind of familiarity or something like that, he didn't want to cheat me, so he now measured 2 of those tomato containers. If you're in Nigeria, you understand all these things I'm saying. It depends on the kind of Nigerian you are. If you buy those foodstuffs like rice and beans and gari and those ones from the people that hawk around then or in the market, you will understand what I am saying. So when she said it, it really made sense to me, and that was what I learned while making this hair. Back to our hair. So of course this hair is just straightforward. I don't know what to say about it again. And so you can see very clearly what I am doing here. I braid once, add 2 of the Brazilian wool, that's just still the fun part of my work. Like, I learned so much from ladies when we just chill at the salon and gist. Like, nothing is off limits, no gossiping. People just believe when women sit together, they just talk about each other and say nasty things. That kind of nonsense does not happen in my salon. We just have a nice time, gist and laugh and share and learn, and it's just part of what I look forward to. I apologize sincerely for the lighting of this camera, because at this point I found a filter that made the video a little bit brighter because it got kind of dark here, and this filter made the color of the wool look more like the color. It's almost dark purple, bluish purple or something like that, but it looked nice on her complexion. So I kept on doing what I was doing. This braid in the front, at least her edge, is going to be painful from the look of things, and I am trying to be careful, but that place is really fragile. Anyway, what else is there to say about these braids? It's just so basic. I don't know what else to explain about it. So for knotless braids, in case you have no idea, you do not add. The difference between knotless braid and the regular box braid is that the knotless braid is braided in a way that the hair extension is light or feels light on your natural hair. You do not add all the extensions at once. You add them in smaller pieces so that it tapers from your hair down, and it just looks as if your hair is hanging down. The braid is hanging from your hair, I noticed that if I braid 2 times before adding the extension, unlike what you saw me doing here, it makes the beginning of the braid to look a little bit thinner. It tapers where the braid starts from, and I don't know, it just looks so scary to me, like it will pull off the hair, especially if the length of the braid that is being made is long and the pattern of that, the size of the box braids are small. It just scares the hell out of me. If you use much extension on a tiny piece of your hair and then you braid it twice before adding the hair extension to get that pointy type of look, I am not comfortable with it. It scares the hell out of me. I do not do it. So most times I just braid once, then I add the hair extension. There might be exceptions, but usually I just braid once. Sometimes I do that 2 times braid if I am like on a very thick section of the hair and the hair is not yet looking coordinated enough to take in hair extensions, and I braid twice and add. But I am very sure at that point that the hair is not going to look as if the extension is outweighing the hair. My lighting and the camera, because we braided this hair and it got late, the lighting was just off. I sincerely apologize, but I hope you can see what I am doing. I have tried the knotless braid on with attachment, and it was just fun to see how it would look with yarn, and I liked it. So just keep watching. We are almost at the end. If you have not subscribed up to this point, I encourage you to subscribe. You know what happens when you enjoy a video and you do not subscribe, and 2 weeks later you are wondering, I remember this person I watched, I cannot even remember her name, I cannot even remember how to search for that video, and then you go back to YouTube and search, and that day you need to find that person, you happen not to find that person. It happens to me. So once I think for a tiny second that I like a video, I subscribe, and when I watch and you can always change your mind and not subscribe, so just hit the subscribe button. It encourages me, makes me feel good, it validates what I am doing for me to know that people appreciate it. So oh my god, the lighting, I apologize, but this hair looked gorgeous. It looked so neat and lightweight, so her scalp was breathing. This is the first time I am making her hair, and this is the first time she's trying knotless braids, and it was just so lightweight and painless and just sweet. So this is another day me playing with the hair like this. Actually guys, I don't think I have any other thing to say. Bye Joe, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and I have other videos that will interest you, so look around. Mwah.